I was pleasantly surprised to see you join the cast. But how did this link up happen?
I saw the movie Blindspotting and loved it, and I posted about it. And Rafael commented on my post, and I commented on his comment. And then we direct messaged each other. And then we were suddenly having a drink somewhere talking about how we should work together on something. And we tried a few things. We were working on crafting a screenplay, me and David and Rafael, and that isn't done yet. And we just thought, well, we'll find something one day. And along the way, they were talking about this series of Blindspotting, and they made a few jokes about there being a part in there. And I didn't know what to make of that, so I just let it go by. And then suddenly they said, so we're not joking anymore. There's this part. And so I read what they had so far and talked to them and told them what I needed to say yes. And then I said yes. And we were on a Zoom and we kept talking. I said, yeah, then I'll do it anyway. And then David went, can we just stop for a minute? You're doing it. And they seemed really happy, and that made me happy. And it was just a really, it's rare to make new friends when you're older anyway. You're not in school and it's a new class and a new school, and you meet everybody. And you can make friends on sets, but sometimes they don't last. And it seems like I've really made some friends with these guys and the people in their lives. So that just feels like a generous gift.
See, that's social media in a positive way. I love that. I can't believe it was
Totally.
a social media connection.
I know. I know.
Well, Rainey is an interesting character. It was fun to see you play her. She's kind of different. What did you like about becoming Rainey?
I mean, it's just so fun to not have to be the earnest one going through the big journey, but to get to be, my job was to embarrass her and Jasmine Cephas-Jones's character, and poke at her and throw myself in the arms of my family and her son, my grandson. It's just to be all in. She's all in.
Yes.
And that's really fun to play.
And she has this rule of 3 where you only have to physically discipline your kid 3 times in their life. Yeah. Do you think this rule could be effective?
I mean, I didn't do it in my life, but it seems in the context of this show to be a pretty, I love the way they structured the writing of the episode. It's really good. And Jaylen Barron, who I'm sure you saw being fantastic. She was wonderful to work with. So that was great.
Blindspotting is almost like a love letter to Oakland, created by Oakland natives.
Yeah.
You spend some time there, like offset, to get acclimated with the culture, because it seems like they have a very distinct culture.
Yeah, no, it is. It's not almost a love letter. It is a love letter. And I just tried to listen and learn about what this place means to them, what's uniquely art and activism. And there's just no place like it. And I know that their wish was to make this a real gift to the families that they grew up with, whose lives have been torn apart by the subject matter of this show. And part of that gift is to talk about the issue, and part of the gift is for there to be dance and humor and spoken word and laughs and love. And so I just tried to help that cause.
And in addition to that, the women in the show are incredible. They pretty much kind of run the show, showing a variety of different experiences that many can relate to. So I just wanted to know, were there some situations or topics discussed in the show that, kind of opened your mind?
I mean, I'm always trying to listen and learn, but I think we all came together understanding what the goal was, and supporting each other. Do you need me to be more this way so you can be that way? Would it help you if I crossed over here and took this thing off the shelf? Yeah, it would. Or no, that, it just was a very easy back and forth. And we all know that if the other actor wins, you win. So it had that feel to it.
So the series has shifted the focus from Miles and Colin to your perspective of life in Oakland and everything that goes with that. So how does it feel to be leading this series and taking it kind of in a different direction than the movie?
It feels amazing. I'm just so honored that Diggs and Rafa chose me to lead the show and wanted to take Ashley from the movie and her perspective on this whole entire Oakland world. It's really been a crazy, fun, emotional roller coaster ride with the show. I was really excited to kind of go deep into who Ashley is as a woman, and how she deals with all of these new situations that have been handed to her. And when they told me about the heightened verse and breaking the fourth wall and the choreography in the show and just kind of the storytelling of the show really, really got me excited, because I've never seen that in TV or film done in this way before.
Yeah, it's completely unique. I've never seen anything like it. And you are so brilliant during the show. It's congratulations, honestly. But your character, Ashley, she's facing some hard times. You know, her boyfriend and father to her child is in jail. She has to live with his mom and his crazy sister. Yet there's so many comedic relief moments and fun scenes. And I really love the scene when you're in the hotel and it kind of turns into your own little music video. How was it filming a scene like that?
It was crazy. That was my second day of filming, and we were running out of light on that day, and so I literally had only 2 takes really to do the trashing of the hotel room in 2 sections. So I did 2 takes in each room. And, you know, a scene like that, you know, you have to clean everything up and build up the glass again and all of that stuff. And then right after that, we filmed the whole dance sequence. So it was a very, very like long and tiring day. But it was so much fun. I mean, how many women in their life have wanted to take a tennis racket and just trash a hotel room because, you know, they've been treated wrongly or been misunderstood, or, you know, or just going through it. So I really, you know, used that and dug deep and did it for every woman that ever felt like that in their life, and it felt good. Got to be honest. It felt great.
I was definitely living through you in that scene. I loved it. But your character, she's so involved. She has, you know, some choreography. She's got to do a British accent. She's also got to get the Oakland accent down. So yeah. There's a lot going on. How did you prepare for this role?
You know, there was, I got that call from Diggs and Rafa almost 3 years ago. So I've been talking about this show for 3 years. So like the preparation for the show has been so long, if that makes any sense. It's just like, it's constantly been this subject that has been in my mind and Rafa's mind and Diggs' mind for years. And so by the time I got to set really, and we started, there was already so much that I had in my brain about Ashley that I wanted to bring. And so really by the time we started, it was just go and play. And a lot of my preparation was just learning a lot of the heightened verse and making sure I learned my lines, and then kind of getting on set and doing it. You know, there wasn't a lot of, we shot in the middle of a pandemic when it was really, really bad in LA at that time. And, you know, we were getting tested every day and we had masks and so many things that was stopping us from connecting as a cast. And so that was really, really hard to do, but just also shows how talented everyone was, because we really had to kind of get over that and just play and be natural. You know, all of these characters they're so much fun, but you know, they're in their homes and they've lived in this place for so long. And all of these characters have known each other for such a long time. So we really had to make that believable, you know, and I think that was probably like the biggest challenge. But we managed to do it. And I think it's because we all believed in this project so much, and this project meant so much to all of us.
Well, you can definitely see that on camera and even off camera, speaking to all of you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I'm so excited for everyone else to see it. So good.
I'm so glad you love the show.
All right. Well, bye. Thank you. So I saw the movie Blindspotting when it came out and I loved it. So I'm interested in what the thought process was behind making Ashley the focus now for the series.
We didn't get enough Ashley in the movie. It was really it. Jasmine Cephas Jones is the reason that there's a Blindspotting TV show. We think she's incredible. We think the character she created with us in the film has such a unique perspective and is someone whose story really, if there's a platform to tell it, it should be told, and somebody gave us a platform to tell it. So we did it. We're trying to do
it. I mean, Jasmine is amazing, so I get it. And then Rafael, it seems like Miles aligns himself with people who are trying to do better and better themselves. Like their mindset is different, like Colin and like Ashley. But at some point, is Miles going to take accountability? Because he discusses how unfair the prison system is to poor people, and especially poor brown people. But Miles never seems to actually realize his faults.
Well, that depends. I want you to elaborate on that question. What is the fault that you're pointing at?
I mean, he was arrested for selling drugs. That's on Miles.
He was convicted of selling drugs. We don't actually know what Miles did. Ashley hasn't told anybody. Rainey hasn't told anybody. Miles hasn't actually said what happened. All we know is they found drugs in the house. I think that's a really important thing to pay attention to.
Okay. All right. I like that.
What episode are you? You got up to episode 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Stick with it.
Okay. All right. And just the whole concept and direction of the show is so unique, and it's kind of like a play, but also like a dance. It's honestly, it's art. It's really art. But why include choreography throughout the show? What did you guys think it could express that words couldn't?
Well, the dancers act as sort of a Greek chorus of the at moments when we see the effects, when it's important to note that the thing we are watching is part of the effect of the prison industrial complex on people who are not incarcerated, right? So they sort of represent the things that all of us have to deal with because of our country's over-aggressive incarceration of people. But the other thing they represent is our Bay Area dance styles, and it's a way to point at how beautiful just the way we move is there, but contextualize it in a show and give it a thing. So a lot of things in the film and in this TV show are about if we heighten it, then you can understand how we see it just when it's normal. Right. And so it's for everybody else to be like, yeah, that's so beautiful. And we can be like, yeah, that's the Bay.
It really was so beautiful though. Oh, I loved it. Okay, but last question. So I thought Blindspotting, the movie, was a masterpiece and honestly underrated. So were there any takeaways from creating the movie that you realized, okay, people gravitated towards this, so we'll continue doing this or less of something?
I think the big thing for us was we felt like the conventions worked in terms of like bringing in verse the way that we wanted to tell stories, and like really just having comedy and tragedy exist right on top of each other, and not worry so much about the pivot of those because it felt very human to us. But I think the big change was like we made the movie when we were really just beginning to become screenplay writers. And so we centered the whole thing on the two of us because we were like, well, at least we can write for ourselves. You know, that's when you're first starting out writing scripts, that's your whole bag. And I think we were allowed to do with the show because we're also allowed to hire on other writers and like other collaborators and producers that could help us sort of crack a broader stories. Is we got to write the Janelle character and Trish and Earl and Rainey and hopefully a bunch more. You know, like we got to the first season, we also did during a pandemic. So you can't have a big cast. Like you physically are not allowed to have a big cast. We can't have more than 5 people in a room, you know, because of protocol. So I think we're excited to hopefully get more seasons where we can keep introducing more and more characters that feel representative of the community that we came from, because what we didn't get to do with the movie was see like all the people that we also grew up around for more than a few seconds, you know? And now it's like I know Trish, I know Jaylen, I know, or like these are people that like shaped our lives, and we didn't get to see them in the movie. And so I think we're just excited to be like, oh man, you know what kind of character that we grew up around that we've never seen on TV? This person. We need to write that character and put that person in the show and find the right actor to bring that shit to life. And I think we're just excited about that possibility that TV allows you, that movies, you know, movies are a one and done thing, you know?
So you guys are the newbies to the cast, to the Blindspotting. How does it feel to join the crew and be a part of this masterpiece that is Blindspotting?
It feels amazing. It feels literally like it really is a dream. Like we're living in a dream right now, you know? It feels surreal. It feels like, it just feels like a dream, like just so grateful, you know, and so excited. And it also feels like, you know, a huge responsibility at the same time too, because you want to make sure that you do justice and that you are honoring the legacy that is coming before you from the movie, you know.
And now, go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say it's pretty wild. Especially like it's a thing where people already had like online, people draw Diggs and Rafa and Jasmine. It's like, oh, this is like a thing. I thought we was doing like a little telenovela or something. This is real. So it's dope. It's very, very dope.
All right. So Benjamin, I know that you're a musical artist. So how did this role come about? You killed it too, but how did this acting come about?
I've sort of been juggling all the hats for a while. I'm thankful to know both David and Rafael formally. I've known them for quite a while. And I think one of the things that I've been able to pick up from them and some other mentors is that it's all writing and performing. So to answer the question as quickly and plainly, it came about from being around them and them seeing that I was still engaged in writing and I was still engaged in performing on stage, even though I was making a lot of music. And I think that really comes from an understanding that they are so similar. I can write a song and I can perform it, just like I can write a scene and I can perform it. And I think that was sort of the mentality that I was carrying into this. And they saw that. And really, I was following in their footsteps because they were doing that. Rafael is a musical artist. Diggs has clipping. So I kind of was seeing what they were doing. And I was like, oh, I think I'll do that too. And I think it ended up working out for me.
It definitely worked out. I love your character and the comedic relief.
Word.
Every scene is so funny. Yeah. And then Candace, now I know you're a poet. And of course, David and Rafael appreciate poetry. It's all throughout the script. So have you ever written any poems for the show?
No, I have not. Not yet, anyway. I hope maybe one day, but no, I haven't.
All right, maybe, because you should. Your poetry is great and it can fit.
Oh, thank you so much.
And then Jaylen, your character Trish is something else. Like, I love being annoyed by her, but you also have to be very comfortable in your skin to play Trish because she's always out there. She's exposed. Was that challenging for you at all?
Yes, 100%, because I'm not like her at all out in the streets, okay? But playing Trish, I mean, it was fun though, because we all know a Trish and we all have seen a Trish at a party, and Trish is ultimately the life of the party, right? And of course, you know, maybe sometimes you could be like, this girl, but why wouldn't you want to roll with Trish? She know where all the hot spots are at. She knows what's going on and what's popping. So yeah, I'm gonna hop in the car with her, okay, for a good time. But playing that character was definitely a challenge because I'm not used to being half naked all the time, and especially in front of 100 people, and then now it's going to be broadcasted everywhere. But you know, it actually has made me feel more confident as a woman in my own skin. So I feel like Trish actually has brought me more confidence than what I had before, because I'm like, yeah, you know what, I can wear that. I do look good in that, so why not? Let me go step out. And I mean, she's really taught me how to love myself more, if anything.